you may be wondering why you're watching this video right now. And the answer is it's pretty cool. So we got some cool testimonies here. Jesus did some great stuff, and we're going to just roll the clips, Kira. Roll the clips.
So did God show you anything at camp?
Yeah, so I think it was like the first or second night we talked about having a mask, and I was bullied all up until 6th grade, and sometimes it was about my appearance or how I have stretch marks on my thighs. And I was at an event and I was wearing shorts, and these group of girls were laughing and pointing at my thighs because I had stretch marks, and it really bugged me because it happened at school a lot too. So I would always wear clothes that weren't tight, and I would always wear like baggy jeans because I didn't want people to judge me for the way my thighs looked. And I went up and got prayed for about having that mask, about acting like I was fine even though people bullied me because of how my thighs looked. And I got prayed, and just all that weight about my insecurities, it came all off my shoulders. And I was laying in bed that night realizing that when I wasn't going to go up and get prayed for, that there was just my gut was telling me I needed to go get prayed for. And that night I realized that it was God telling me I needed to go get prayed for so that weight would be off my shoulders. And now I really don't care what people think because he made me in his image, and I'm perfect the way I am.
That's awesome. So did God say anything to you or show you anything in that moment that you got prayed for?
After I got prayed for, while I was crying while hugging Kira, I realized that I heard him say that he loved me and that I was perfect the way I was, and I didn't really realize that was him until I was laying in bed that night. So, yeah.
That's awesome. You realize how many girls are going to be encouraged how you should. There's so many girls that are wrestling with those insecurities, and you being bold is going to help them overcome that. So thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Cool. Awesome. That was it. Sarah, favorite part of camp?
My favorite part of camp was probably chapel.
Any activities that you really enjoyed?
Ziplining.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, was it like a scary zip line? Do you have like a fear of heights you had to face or anything?
Nah, I'm not afraid of most things.
Just like the thrill of gliding.
Yeah.
It's super
Just
cool.
gets the adrenaline going.
I got to go down the zip line with my daughter. That was adorable.
Yeah.
It's adorable. Got some great shots of it. Super fun. So you liked chapel. What part of chapel?
I like that you could really center yourself with God and that you could always feel him. Even when you didn't feel him at home, I came back really more energized with the Spirit of God, and I was able to feel things that I probably wouldn't have before I came to camp.
That's super cool. So did you have like a moment with God at camp?
I did, actually.
What was that like?
I was praying for God to see me and just to show me my purpose and my worth. And then my counselor, Nicole, came up and she said, "You are seen by God." And it just really, it opened my eyes.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So how's life been different since then?
I've just been more alive, less, doom and gloom, and more, let's do this, let's do anything.
Favorite parts of camp?
Chapel, 100%.
Chapel. Did you have a favorite activity while you were at camp?
Tubing. I would say tubing was fun.
Who was your counselor?
Like my main or all of them?
Counselors, go for it.
Oh, Nick, Boaz, and Brian.
Ooh, you had a fun little cabin.
Yeah.
I was just talking to Nick. He had a lot of fun with you guys. I really enjoyed it. I think you guys talked to him into serving at Impact, man.
Yeah, he said I may come, and he came.
Yeah,
so
it's cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, what's something that God showed you at camp or spoke to you?
Like I would kind of tell you like my testimony, like kind of,
Yeah.
So for like a past 2 months before camp, I felt like God was telling me something, but I have no idea what it was. And I couldn't get out. I felt like there was a wall up, and I couldn't figure it out. And then I came to camp, and Wednesday night, you were talking about, I think, was it Tuesday about a chair?
Yep.
Tuesday, okay, yeah. And I'm like, I couldn't figure out like what it was, but then after you were talking about a chair, and I'm like, okay, now it makes sense. I felt like I was in chair some days and not fully serving God like I should be. And so then Wednesday night I went up for prayer, and I felt like, so I told him I felt like I was in a chair and not like, I felt like the wall up and not serving him a whole way, and felt like I was kind of like begging for his wood and not like having patience. Like I tried to have patience, but I haven't none at all. And so then I went up for prayer. I got prayed for, and next morning Nick, he got a word from God, was saying I was spiritually tired. And then like I think Thursday morning, okay, so yeah, and then that day in devotionals is something like we read, and it was about spiritually tired kind of, and so now like I know I'm spiritually tired, and I need to not be so pushy and like just just say calm and just trust him and just wait. He know the right time, and yeah.
So how did you feel when God showed you that?
I mean, it just felt like kind of like, well, it felt good, kind of like weight off, like, okay, now I know that I don't need to like try to beg and just beg. So it kind of felt like, I mean, it just felt good and just happy. Yeah.
So how's life different now?
I mean, better. And now, like, I don't know. I'm trying to like go slower. So like, okay, so my PlayStation PS4, I was on that so much and not focusing at all. And now I'm trying to take a step back with that and like only play a few hours a day, or like I don't know, and just focus on God more. And so now I'm starting to feel better. But
that's awesome, Rem.
yeah.
So then, what did you like about chapel?
About chapel, I liked that I could just be free and just jump around, sing, not worry about what everyone's thinking about me, because I definitely had an issue with that.
Yeah. So how did you experience God at camp?
I definitely experienced him with him showing me that I can find my worth in him and not in other people, because my brother left for the military, and I was always thinking that maybe I did something and maybe I don't mean anything to him, or I don't mean anything. And so when I got there, I was just praying. My counselors prayed over me, and I just started crying because I just miss him so much, and I just wish he would come home. And I was definitely thinking that I had to find my worth in him, and that if he didn't find me worthy to stay, that I didn't mean anything.
So what did God show you about that?
He showed me that I can only find my worth in him, and I don't need to find my worth in other people, and not think that what other people think about me is true.
That's so cool. And how'd that feel when he spoke that to you?
It felt really good. It was just like a weight was lifted off of me to be free and not have to worry about that anymore.
So cool. Girl, I'm so proud of you. What's something God showed you at camp?
That I don't need to be afraid and that I can show my true self.
Yeah. So were you dealing with a lot of fear before camp?
Yeah.
What kind of fear?
Like, I was scared people are going to judge me or like not like me for who I am.
Yeah. So what did God do?
He showed me that I can be myself and that I don't have to be afraid.
Yeah. Is there something that he spoke to you, or like a moment that you had with him?
Like,
So what was that like when he showed that to you, that you don't have to be afraid? Like, how'd that happen?
when I was praying with Megan and Nicole, and they like prayed over me, and God was just speaking to me that I can be me. I don't have to be ashamed of myself.
That's awesome. And how'd that make you feel?
Better.
God's move in your heart at camp?
Well, before camp, I always knew God since I was young, I guess. And then the last few weeks have been hard. I don't know, just arguing and stuff, and I don't know, stuff like that. And then, I don't know, I guess at camp, God told me I can just be who I am I don't have to try to measure up to people and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. So how did that happen? What was going on when God showed you you didn't have to measure up?
I don't know how to explain it. Ask the question again. I'm confused.
So like that moment that God showed you you didn't have to measure up to other people.
Oh, I guess I felt relief that I can just be who I am, and doesn't really matter what other people think.
Did God say something to you or show you something in that moment? Was the counselor praying for you?
I don't know, during worship, I just felt, I don't know, I guess I felt kind of God talk to me that it's fine that if you embarrass yourself, it's not a big deal because nobody really cares.
That's cool.
Oh, I guess.
So how
Don't
are
know how
you
to explain
different?
anything.
How are you different because of you going to camp?
I guess I feel refreshed, closer to God. Like I said, I feel like I can just be who I want without other people caring, and I feel better, I guess.
What's most enjoyable about the time you spent?
Most enjoyable time was probably getting to know God and also getting to be set free.
That's awesome. So how did God set you free?
So basically, at school, I like have gone through like a lot with like peer pressure and that stuff. And when I came to camp, God told me that He forgives and that it's okay.
That's awesome. And so how did that feel when you felt forgiven?
It felt amazing.
So how's life been different because you know you're forgiven?
It's been different because now I know that when I go back to school this year, that I don't have to listen to the people that I used to hang out with.
That's awesome. And even that probably feels free too. Like that pressure of like, oh, I don't have to live up to these people's expectation.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Anything else that you want to share?
Yeah. I'd just like to thank Hannah, Megan, and Cameo, and Nicole for really believing in me and also telling me that I'm much more than just, and I'm much more than me. Wow, I can't even speak.
I understand 100% to that because I don't think I can speak either.
Basically what I'm trying to say is they really helped me through a lot.
They're great girls. And they're here for you. So
Yeah.
they keep coming back, okay?
Okay.
Cool. How are you?
Did you know my girl Callie got saved at camp?
Yes,
Whoa! That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. How'd that feel?
It felt amazing.
Yeah. What was that moment like?
I was just wowed.
Yeah. Tell me more.
It felt amazing. It felt like I didn't have to like live by and like I didn't have to live by the rules of the devil. I had to I felt freedom after I came to camp and then left. But most of all, being at camp really changed my life.
So, chapel. What was your favorite part of chapel?
Worship.
Worship. Do you have a song that's just stuck with you ever since worship?
I thank God and Reckless Love.
So good. So good. That's so good. So, why don't you share, like, what did God do in you at camp?
So before camp, my parents
like put a lot of pressure on me,
Mm-hmm.
and they argued a lot, so like it kind of made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
And then during school, like things would happen a lot, so it put like a negative mindset, sorry. And so I had like negative thoughts all the time, either of hurting myself or physically doing so. And so I didn't really have anybody to talk to. And then when I got to camp, when our counselors shared their testimony, it kind of really like showed me that like I can show my story, and then worship helped a lot too. And so I cried like a lot, and I went up to my counselors and they prayed for me. And it kind of just showed me that like I can tell them really anything, and Jesus like just told me like I can't be scared, and that like he'll be there the whole time and just help me through like a lot of it. And
That's
I'm
amazing.
really glad that I came, because I got really homesick the first night, so it was kind of hard, and I really wanted to go home. But Hannah and Cameo and like my other counselors, Megan and Nicole, they all really helped me.
Oh, that's so
Through it.
beautiful. That's so beautiful. So what did God tell you or say to you that night?
Just not to be scared, and that like he's there with me, and that he loves me.
And how'd that make you feel?
Really good, because I needed it.
That is so cool. Great
What
job.
was your favorite part of chapel?
Like worshiping and praying with like your camp counselors.
Yeah. Favorite worship song from camp?
I'm not really sure, 'cause
Yeah.
there was a lot.
I know, right? There were a lot. So, how did you experience God at camp?
Before camp, I wasn't really believing God because my grandma died, and I didn't know how to like handle it, and so I was mad at the world. And then when I went to camp, I started like basically putting God in my life. That just helped me believe in that He was real.
Yeah. So what was that like when you put God in your life?
I don't know, I just felt like I could be more free, and I could like talk about like my feelings more and all that.